Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. So, a few weeks ago, I told you that I'd do a little bit deeper look into the tube bender that I got. This is my cheap $209 Amazon tube bender. As much as I wanted to reach out to JD Squared and have them send me a Model 32 and one of their world famous, they make top of the line dies. JD Squared makes the best tube bender dies out there. The problem is you got to pay top dollar shipping for it. They wanted hundreds of dollars to ship me a mechanical bender and die. It was going to be over $1,000 just for the mechanical bender and a die shipped to me. And I just couldn't do it when I could get this one for 209 bucks. I have a local welding supply store that stocks Woodward Fab machinery, all kinds of stuff. So they actually ordered me the 1 3/4 die. This it's not branded as Woodward Fab on Amazon. It's about half the price that this exact same Woodward Fab mechanical bender goes for. But and to be honest, I've actually seen Woodward Fabs at the supply store, and it's identical. This comes out of the same factory, I'm sure of it. Exact same pins, exact same finish on this cold rolled steel. It's the identical bender that is branded Woodward Fab. So any of the Woodward Fab dies obviously are going to work with it. So you get a cheap Chinese bender, same thing as a Woodward Fab. If you're already buying Woodward Fab, you're getting the exact same thing but half the price, and all the dies all work with it. So the thing that I thought was the best decision I made when setting this bender up, I didn't want a mechanical bender because I didn't want a pedestal redheaded down, bolted down into the concrete in a permanent spot. I don't do a whole lot of tube bending. We have buddies and stuff that will need to use it and stuff, and I don't want to have to say, "Hey, it's bolted in my house. I'm a half hour, 45 minutes away." I'd rather say, "Hey, come grab it, put it in your truck, and just use it," rather than unbolt a pedestal and bolt it at your house. So the thing that I think is super cool about this is I actually cut a piece of angle iron and a piece of tube. This is actually a cross member from a Silverado, from a 99 to 06 Silverado. It's a rear cross member tube. It fit perfectly in here. I welded that tube to that angle iron and then bolted the mechanical bender down to that 3/8 angle iron, and now it just rolls around on an engine stand. So it's way better, in my opinion, than building a custom stand and just having a one-off stand that only is for that bender. I can pull this bender out from the stand, and then I can use the stand just like normal by sliding in the engine stand portion. And then I can store this in the tool shed, put this away, or put this down anywhere else. It's actually a lot more compact. So I think putting it on an engine stand was a great decision. My floors are sloped for drainage to go out of the garage, so I don't have level floors. They're pitched out. So the one thing that you do need to be cautious of, excuse me, is you need to use angle finders. And on compound bends, when you have multiple bends, you want to make sure they stay in the same plane. So you're going to want to use angle finders to rotate and get the pipes, or the tubes actually, I'm sorry, at the same degree that your floor is, or whatever this is matched at. I actually just matched the tube to the top of this, and then that actually has it at the same plane. So I'll get into that a little bit later, but let's go over some of the swag gear and the Harbor Freight Ram that works with the Swag Off-Road. So let's get in here and look at this real quick. We got Tony up there talking in front of Terremoto. Anyhow, so here's a little bit better look at the bender up close. So I like the high visibility of this degree wheel. So I bought this degree wheel separate. But it's just a Woodward Fab tube bender. knockoff. It's a knockoff to a knockoff. So Woodward Fab is basically a knockoff to JD Squared. So Woodward Fab sells their pedestal. That's what they're asking retail for the. Here's a little breakdown. So I had an order set up with JD Squared for a 32 bender, a die, shipping, and tax. It's $1,015. This Amazon bender was $209. Woodward Fab die was $272, and then tax between them was $38.48. So the Swag Off-Road stuff, the tube bender has a ram mount, and then the Harbor Freight ram. So if I had to do it again, I would probably get their clamp style. I'll put an overlay of what their clamp style looks like. I think it actually is rated for more tube diameter, because I actually do a lot here. I got some 188 wall going right now. Where are we at? So 188 wall, you can see the difference. This here is 188 wall thickness. It's basically 3/16 of an inch thick. This is 120 wall. You can see the wall thickness like that I'm pinching right now. That's a lot thinner than 188 wall. This bender, these are all 188 wall. So this tube that I'm touching right now is 188 thousandths of an inch thick. This is a little mock-up. I'm actually getting ready. This is 120 wall. I'm figuring out where my second part of rock sliders go now. But what I was saying was this bend right here was made on the bender, and it bent 188 wall just fine. But this mount, this ram, where we at? This ram mount made by Swag, this one is only rated at 120 wall. It was creaking and cracking a little bit. I knew, it's probably my knowledge that I knew that this one was maxed out. It was overrated for what I was bending when I was bending those rock sliders, those big hoops under there. So what I was getting at is, if I had to do it again, I would have just got Swag's clamp style. It clamps over the whole diameter of this ram, and it's a higher rated clamp. Sorry about all that stupid explaining, but that's the only decision I would do differently. When you're on Swag's website, it's really important to make sure that you're understanding the diameter that this mount accepts, because you cannot find this diameter hydraulic ram on Amazon. They just don't sell it. This diameter only is available at Harbor Freight. It's a little over 3 inches. Like I said, just go on, when you're on Swag's website, just follow their recommendations, because if you look over here, I fucked up. I actually got the Amazon version of Air Over Hydraulic, thinking that it was close enough, and I'm clamping it, but this is just under barely just under 3 inches, and this one is just barely over 3-inch diameter. But it matters when you're clamping it and using their product. So make sure you follow their recommendations for the clamp that you're going to use for your ram. But that's it. I'll just throw a little bit of me using it. I'm super happy with it. It did fantastic. It bent 188 wall DOM, and I'm getting ready to wrap up the second row of rock sliders, the ones that protect the body. And it's right here up on the stand. It's 188 wall as well. Tony said hi.